Now, on the live chat, we have Aimee Lambert, which says, hey guys, love your video. I'm going to New Zealand in November and I really want to do the Tongariro Crossing, but I'm a bit worried about what level of fitness is needed to survive. All right, so we're going to give you a few information about the Tongariro Crossing because this comes up all the time and I think it's a great opportunity for us to do that. The first thing that to note is that there is a lot of people that do the Tongariro Crossing, a lot of them of all kind of level of fitness and preparation, and most of them survive, right? The casualty is above 50%, so is below 50%, so we don't lose more than half people. No, I'm joking. There is only a few injuries a year, so it's still quite safe. So first thing first, for the Tongariro Crossing, more than your level of fitness, the thing that I will worry the most about is having the right thing packed. Honestly, you can take it as slow as you want, right? We've actually have met some people that took over 10 hours to do it, while we've met some people that literally only took 5 hours to do it. And actually, we met some people that done it much faster because some crazy people run this thing. Don't get me started on that. I think they're insane. But yeah, so you get every different type of fitness. We don't consider ourselves like super fit and everything like that, but even while filming and doing the whole thing, when we did our video about the Tongariro Crossing, it still took us only 6.5 hours. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So that was totally fine. But so the first thing that I want to mention is that you can definitely do it at almost any kind of fitness level. So you don't need to be too worried about that. The thing that you need to be worried about is to get the right thing packed for yourself. Laura, do you want to go through that?
Yeah, so first of all, you need to take plenty of water with you because you won't be able to fill up any water bottles on the way during the Tongariro Crossing. So the usual recommendation is 3 liters, I think, for the whole day, which is usually fine for November. But if you were, for instance, hiking the Tongariro Crossing in summer, and when you're completely exposed on the mountaintops, it's an alpine environment, so the sun is a lot more intense, and there's no shade. That's like when
no shade at all until the last 20 minutes of the hike.
Yeah, so that's when you would need to take more than 3 liters of water. But in your case for November, 3 liters of water is a good amount. It will feel heavy in your backpack to start with, but it's definitely worth it, and you will probably get through all of that. Yeah. So on top of that, you also need to take some lunch because this is on average an 8-hour hike. It takes all day to do, so you'll need to have take some lunch with you, take some snacks to keep you going, all that sort of stuff. And it's always best to take a little bit extra. It's always better to over prepare than under prepare. So in terms of clothes and stuff like that, again, you're going to be in an alpine environment, so it's really important to have layers, to have a jacket, but importantly to have a rain jacket as well, because the weather is ever changing up there. Usually on the Tongariro Crossing, if the weather is too bad and unsafe, then the shuttle companies, because you will be needing to take the shuttle company to get to the Tongariro Crossing because it's a one-way walk and you'll need transport at the beginning and the end. But usually if the weather's bad, the shuttle companies won't be taking people up onto the Tongariro Crossing. But even if the forecast is for a good day on the crossing, it can still change. So it's really worth taking a rain jacket, even to block the wind from you, because sometimes it can get really windy up there and cold, but also take extra layers, like some extra like merino wool layers, just another jacket to put on top. Also maybe some, like in November it can still be quite cold, so maybe some like hiking pants, maybe even an underlayer if you really feel the cold. So yeah, loads of options there for clothing, but just make sure that again you're over prepared and not under prepared. Yeah, in terms of other stuff to take in November, it's definitely worth taking sunscreen because it is starting to this is in the springtime, going into summer, it is likely to be be quite sunny up there, and in alpine environments, you're more likely to get sunburned. So definitely take some sunscreen, maybe a hat to protect your head from the sun, sunglasses. Take a little bit of a personal first aid kit. So, you know, in case, I don't know, you have a bit of a fall, if you graze yourself or something, just all those sort of like really basic first aid kit items is worth taking as well. So what else? Yeah.
All right. Sorry, are you done with the packing list or no?
Yeah, I'm just finishing it.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, also it's a good idea to have your cell phone with you. You won't have signal sort of in the middle sections of the Tongariro Crossing, but when you get to the other end, you might want to call your shuttle company or something. Maybe if you're running a bit late or they're a bit early. Some shuttle companies will even like come and pick you up early, for instance. So it's worth having your cell phone with you just at the end so that you can communicate with your transport provider.
All right. So now this brings to the point that you actually have to go to the Tongariro Crossing in summer. I think November is when that's going to kick in. Now you have to go with a shuttle company. You can't just park your car because there are some time limitations there. So now for this reason, you're going to want to book a shuttle company. So now there is plenty of companies, right? We like Backyard Tours, for example, is a great company to book with.
Active Outdoor Adventures.
Active Outdoor Adventures is really good company as well to book with. So and obviously plenty more. But yeah, so you're going to want to book with one of those companies. And what they're going to do, they're going to pick you up from Turangi or from Taupo and drive you to the hike. Now this is bringing the question of like, what is going to be the best accommodation to stay at when doing the Tongariro Alpine Crossing? So there is two places in which you're going to be wanting to stay for that crossing, which are definitely far better than any other options. They are going to be in the town of Turangi or in the town of National Park. They are the two spots which are going to be the closest. Now, in each of those areas, there is plenty of accommodation from hotel, motel, hostel, holiday park, and everything in between, right? There's even campsites and stuff like that. So, but that's the two places in which you're going to want to base yourself to do the crossing for sure. So you base yourself in either Turangi or National Park. From there, you're going to be taking a shuttle that you need to book ahead. This shuttle is going to drop you off at the start of the hike, and then they come and pick you up at the end of the hike. That's basically how it works. Now, for the hike itself, I invite you to check out the video of us actually climbing the whole Tongariro Alpine Crossing. You get the whole kind of overview of what it is. Literally, if you want to know exactly what it is, we go through every single section one by one. But basically, it starts a little bit flat and kind of like a nice little bushland. Then you have a really steep climb, which is called the Devil's Staircase. Honestly, not the worst staircase we've done in New Zealand, so no need to panic about it at all. You have a really nice like a ledge kind of walking, where you see everywhere around, which is beautiful. Then you have a Scree Run Down, meaning that the floor is really loose, kind of making your way down. This is where most people actually fall or tumble and everything. So if you take it really fast, usually it's a good technique, or you take it very slow, but nothing in between. It's really important to remember that. You arrive at those beautiful lakes that you see in the pictures all the time. Usually that's one of the best spots for a nice little lunch because you're almost halfway through. Then you keep on walking and you see a little bit of a hut, and then it's all downhill from there. Actually downhill, not bad, but it's all downhill from here, where you're going to start making your way kind of zigzagging on the side of the mountain, and then you finish for the last, let's say, half an hour. You're in a bit of a native forest, and you arrive at the end of the car park. So it's not a hike where you can get lost. No way. It's very well marked. There's heaps of people. It's not a hike that's going to challenge you too much. It will challenge you, yes, but not too much. And it's not a hike that has, that you're going to feel like if something happened, no one can help me. There's heaps of people. As long as you go prepare and you follow Laura's tips on that, you're going to be totally good. And again, I've even told you where to stay. So you get plenty of tips right here. We will be linking to a lot of things at the bottom of these videos, i.e. the video of us doing the crossing, i.e. or our guide about doing the Tongariro Alpine Crossing, everything you need to prepare. We have really full lengthy guides in which we refer to even during those videos, the really big guide with a lot of information. And they're really handy for you to actually prepare those kind of longer style hikes. Anything you want to add, or?
Not really. You've pretty much covered everything, I think.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So any questions of your own, make sure to put them in the comment below. We're here to help every single Sunday.